Welcome back, all you VR enthusiasts. I am your humble host, the Space Cowboy. We have returned to play Table of Tales. We last left off leaving the port. The governor had just been unalived by a mysterious shadow syndicate, so we are off to one, clear our name, and two, figure out what the cheese is going on with these people. So, real quick, before we get going, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel, that'd be fantastic. If you enjoy VR content, I would greatly appreciate that. And if you could comment, share, if you have any other ideas for games to sample, I would be more than happy to try them out. So, without further ado, as everybody says, let us get started and get back into our adventure.
Once clear of the docks, the Scoundrels examine the map they found on the governor. The marked locations are places from each Scoundrel's past, a past they had hoped to leave behind.
Okay.
Captain Starling is surprised by something on the map. Let me see that. These symbols, it's an old sailor's code. I can decipher this, but it'll take time. As you sail the Crown Islands, your choices won't just affect you. The consequences of your actions will be reported in the Crown Herald.
Oh, snap.
The Scoundrels have been set up, and killing those guards won't have helped their case. You're gonna have to find out who framed you to clear your name. Who was the masked assassin? And who knew the Scoundrels' secrets and told the governor? Your Scoundrels will need all the help they can get. Go on, pick an upgrade.
So I think what I'm going to do, just a little bit of an aside, I believe what I'm going to do is just show the story and skip the fighting, because if not, these videos are going to be super freaking long. So we will just mostly focus on the story, and I'll do the battles for me. I'm doing it for me because I like this kind of stuff. So let's pick some upgrades and go on to the next part of our journey.
As night falls and the ship nears the Emerald, the crew fire a barrage of questions at Thomas. He holds up his hands for silence. He'll address each of them in his own time.
Okay.
The Hammer wants to know if Thomas made any weapons here on the Emerald. He deflects by saying that there's nothing in this inventory that she would want. She gives him a cold look that says she knows how to break weapons she wouldn't use.
Ooh, Barbarella.
Nina senses something in these waters, something powerful. Thomas asks if it's magical and she's not sure. But then no one's sure if alchemy is magical either. The two briefly debate whether his concoctions are part of the natural order, but when he asks how natural her powers are, she ends the conversation abruptly.
You went too far, my boy.
One of my first assignments, years before I was made captain, was investigating possible criminal activity on the Emerald. 6 of our crew were eaten by giant insects, and we were nearly sunk by pirates. Do you mean to say I was investigating you?
Thomas shakes his head and mutters something about research. As the Emerald draws near, Thomas waves aside any further questions. He has more preparations to make before revisiting his one-time home.
Ooh, the water change. Ooh, we're here, I think.
Thomas guides the ship into a water channel he knows well, despite the years since his last visit. Even in the darkness, the Scoundrels can tell he's unsettled. Emerald Post, an out-of-place grand mansion built to resemble Thomas's family home. He is concerned the torches outside are dark. Before he can explain why that's a problem, a huge, flaming insect flies into the clearing. As it flies towards the mansion, Thomas cries out. There are unstable chemicals in his lab. A normal flame won't set them off, but the fireflies burn hot. He calls out for Wandsworth, his loyal and trusted manservant, but there's no reply. Thomas explains his alchemical torches keep the insects away when they're lit. Normally, Wandsworth makes sure they're always burning. If you're going to find out what's happened, the Scoundrels must light the torches and stop the flaming fireflies from entering the mansion.
That's cool. So we first begin with a fight. Alright, here we go. Hopefully I can, oh dear.
These alchemical torches require a complex procedure to light. Fortunately, there are instructions on the shell, assuming your scoundrel understands it. Your scoundrel has prepared the base chemicals. Now they need to prime the ignition mixture.
Yeah, just need one. Oh,
They've done it! The torch's distinctive smell is already having a dramatic effect. Now to light the other
is that all we
three.
gotta do?
Yes, that's half the torches lit. These insects seem to have noticed what the Scoundrels are up to, and they don't seem pleased. Nearly there. Just one more torch left to light. The torch is lit! That's all of them! The swamp fills with the smell of Thomas's alchemical repellent. It's a bit unpleasant for the Scoundrels,
Gosh, that was
but
super
clearly
close.
much worse for the insects. Time to put out the fire and search what's left of the mansion. Which is, thankfully,
Okay.
quite a lot. Thomas heads inside, beating out the flames and calling for Wandsworth.
Oh no.
There's no answer, but eventually he emerges holding some items. The card note includes a sketch of a familiar figure. The assassins were here. But it's drawn next to a hastily written list of supplies. Wandsworth is, or was, alive and fled the island. There's also a piece of brilliant blue coral near the note. Thomas explains that he was studying it, believing it to have some special properties. It's supposed to be in a protective case. Why would Wandsworth remove it? Wandsworth couldn't have gotten far. In fact, there's only one place Thomas can think of. You'll have a chance to catch him if you move quickly.
Alright, let's rock and roll.
Fort Rasp, an old military outpost now home to the pirate Sebastian Harrow, one of Thomas's best customers back in the day. Wandsworth would have sought protection if anything happened here.
Alright, looks like we're going next to the pirate enclave.
Thomas directs the captain towards Fort Rasp, having been there before. But last time was more than 7 years ago, and in the company of pirates who made the abandoned naval outpost their home. You be careful. Sebastian Harrow is dangerous. I don't care if he was a customer, which is technically treason, by the way. I have a bad feeling about this.
Reason's no good.
It seems your captain's instincts were right. The only pirates here are dead. Thomas examines a body, but there's no obvious cause of death. All he can say for certain is it happened recently.
How recent though? Oh.
Ahoy!
That shout came from the tower at the far end. As the Scoundrels approach, Thomas recognizes the figure. It's Sebastian Harrow himself, though he's looking a bit worse for wear.
Who goes there? State your business.
Alrighty. You're up, tomboy.
Harrow seems pretty shaken. It's best if Thomas tries to talk him down.
Turlinga? The apothecary? You're here for Wandsworth, aren't you? I don't care if you're the Kraken yourself. I be staying up here where it's safe. Arr!
Bright blue shards of something bursting through the stone of the fort.
Arr, me leg! No, no, I can walk. You got a ship. Oh, we can talk about your man once we're on it. We have to move.
Before the group can get too far, the ground shakes and the dead pirates rise.
We're gonna be fighting our way out.
Harrow is right. The only way out is through those things. Pick your path wisely.
Okay. Okay, I have not been rolling very well so far. Keep getting bad rolls, but here we go. Let's try to fight our way out of this. Fight our way out of this fight. That's what I said, fight.
Oh, curse on you, Turlinger, and your man Wandsworth. 'Twere he who brought these things here. I'm sure of it. Then some bastards came, destroyed me, and took him away. Good riddance. They can't take ye if you're proper dead. Grant, Captain's final request. Don't let them take me.
Thomas nods, and with clinical precision, he grants the pilot's
Cool, so that was a
wish.
waste of time.
The wall is down, and just in the nick of time. Thomas notices the coral isn't growing on the wooden wharf. He starts to come up with a theory, but there isn't time. The others push him onwards.
Thank the stars. Quick, get aboard.
They jumped straight up out of the water. Looks like you're not quite safe yet.
Alright, let's hope for the best.
The monsters are gonna keep coming. Get to the ship.
What do you think I'm trying to do?
The scoundrels make a break for it.
That was close. Let's get out of here. Did you find Harrow?
Thomas nods grimly and looks back towards the fort. Thomas scratches his chin, going over what Harrow said before he died. Wandsworth arrived shortly before someone came, destroyed Harrow's ship, and took Wandsworth by force. It's not confirmed how or why the infection started, but Thomas has a nasty theory. He and Wandsworth studied similarly blue corals long ago, but they locked it away when the experiments made it dangerous. Now it seems clear Wandsworth has been colonized by it, and it's using him to spread. A colonized vector is brain dead. They're still living bodies completely controlled by the coral's polyps. It doesn't know how to talk, yet by all accounts, Wandsworth was lucid and talking, so maybe he can still be cured.
So, these colonists, their bodies are being controlled by coral? Belay that! We have to find Wandsworth before he spreads them anywhere else.
But before they can do anything...
What?
It's the Alchemist Guild's underwater flagship, the Rorqual. It's got your ship in a vice grip. For now, it seems you're trapped.
What's the meaning of this? Release my ship this instant. I demand to speak with your captain.
Captain Peridal Conroy, I believe you have Thomas
Ruh-roh.
Turlinger on board. He's wanted for illegal human experimentation. Turn him over, and you can be on your way. There you are. We turned a blind eye to your dangerous experiments for too long, Turlinger. Before Thomas can say anything, he spots a familiar face among the alchemists.
Welcome back, sir. Though it appears we've found ourselves in
It's Wandsworth.
a bit of a pickle.
It's Wandsworth himself. So the Rorqual was at Fort Rasp. Thomas needs to get Wandsworth back. But how? He only has a moment to decide.
Let's try sweet talking.
Perhaps, if Thomas is fast enough, you can tip the odds with a single shot.
Oh no! Alright, here goes. I'm closing my eyes.
Oops. Good thing Thomas isn't dueling in a western.
Is that your answer? Very well. Attack!
Thomas has to get to Wandsworth before it's too late.
Okay, more fighting. Here we go.
Thomas breathes a sigh of relief. Wandsworth is still alive.
Thank you for coming all this way, sir. But I'm afraid it's far too late for me.
Wandsworth pulls down his collar to reveal his neck. The coral infection has reached his spine. Wandsworth hands him a notebook.
I trust you'll be able to make sense of this. Now, if you'll indulge me in one final request, please allow me to die as Wandsworth, faithful servant of Thomas Turlinger.
Thomas needs to secure their escape, and the infection in Wandsworth could do to the Rorqual what it did to Fort Rasp. Wandsworth deserves so much more. Ensuring he doesn't turn into a coral creature is the least Thomas can do.
It's been a privilege, sir.
Faithful servant? Heck yeah, I'm gonna put him out of his misery.
Thomas can grieve later. They need to secure their escape first. That's the bridge of the alchemist ship. Your scoundrels should be able to create an escape route with it.
Excellent.
Your scoundrel quickly identifies the vital controls in the bridge. This won't take long.
Certainly hope not.
They've done it! The pressure in a main valve overloads and... Well, you can see for yourself. The Rorqual is starting to sink. Get back to your ship.
On it. Oh, leave.
This is it. You can leave the Rorqual behind now. Thomas looks at the Rorqual as it sinks. The crew scrambling back into the vessel. It pains him that he was unable to save Wandsworth. At least he was able to give his faithful manservant the ending he wanted. So, they managed to repair the Rorqual and make it to port. Hopefully, that's the end of the Coral's plans for colonization. Wandsworth's notes reveal that the assassins who murdered the governor are the arms of the Kraken. Does the mastermind also worship the Kraken? Wait, there's more. According to this, the mastermind holds a grudge against the Scoundrels. This confirms that the mastermind is someone from the Scoundrels'
Probably the
past.
dude that went overboard at the beginning.
As they sail on, the captain signals for one of the Scoundrels to come over.
So we're gonna stop right here, take a break, do another episode, pushing forward on these fine adventures, and yeah, thank you everyone who has stayed and watched up until this point. Really appreciate it. Once again, share, like, subscribe, and see me in the next one. I appreciate your time. Have yourself a fantastic. Take care. Until next time, I'm the Space Cowboy. Hasta luego.